Her boss skimmed her tips, stole her shifts, and called it team spirit. So Sophie quit mid-rush and walked out with the proof still in her pocket. That same night, she used her keys one last time and documented exactly how the cafe really worked after hours. By the time the door locked behind her, the truth was already out, and there was no way for her boss to take it back. The morning rush at Elm and Bean sounded like boiling pressure. Milk frothed, grinders roared, the same indie sunshine track looping again. Then Claire appeared at the counter, perfect white blouse, perfect smile, like every dollar depended on her dimples. Sophie moved quietly between the machines, small, fast, invisible. She knew the rhythm by heart. Steam, pour, swipe, smile. But the smile stopped being hers a long time ago. Smile more, Soph, Claire said, topping off a latte that Sophie had already finished. You're the face of this place, remember? She wasn't. Claire was, at least on Instagram. Two customers at the end of the counter whispered about her latest post. Love your team. #SupportLocal. Sophie heard them and almost laughed. That team was down to 3 people now. 2 were new hires who lasted barely a week. When tips came in, Claire scooped the largest bills off the counter with her manager hand gesture, a half wave that said don't question it. House cut, she'd say every single time. Team spirit. The espresso machine hissed, a long, angry breath that filled the air between them. Claire checked her watch and said, You'll cover tomorrow's morning shift too, right? I want to sleep in. Sophie nodded once, not because she agreed, but because fighting her was useless. The noise of milk steaming covered her exhale. By noon, she decided. Not loudly, not dramatically, just decided. Her resignation note fit on a napkin. When she handed it over, Claire smirked. Let me guess, you found something easier? Sophie just said, no, just quieter. The door chime rang as she left. That same bright jingle that used to mean welcome. Now it sounded like relief. Outside, the air smelled like burnt espresso and rain. She didn't look back at the window, just at her own reflection in it. For the first time in months, it didn't look like someone waiting for permission. She still had the keys. The cafe was dark the night she passed by again. Just the glow of the streetlight bouncing off the glass, the kind that makes you see inside and see yourself at the same time. The espresso machine's tiny green light was still blinking. Nobody ever shut it off right. She stopped. Her hand found the handle before she even thought. For beeps. A click. That soft hiss from the alarm delay, like the place still remembered her. And just like that, she was inside again. Inside, it smelled like old beans and lemon cleaner. The air was heavy, still carrying echoes of the day. Burnt milk, overplayed playlists, fake cheer. She didn't turn on the overhead lights, just the one above the machine. The steam wand hissed once, like it recognized her. She filled the pitcher, watched the milk swirl, waited for the sound she used to dread. It didn't sound angry tonight, just alive. She made herself a single cappuccino, sat at the same table where customers used to crowd. No noise, no rush, no Claire correcting her tone. The cafe finally felt honest, imperfect, but hers for now. On the counter sat a stack of blank sleeves. She took one, drew a small crescent moon on it with a marker, and wrote after dark. It looked like nothing, but it felt like something. She snapped a photo. Steam rising, cups centered, candle from her tote bag flickering behind it. Posted it to her private account with one tag, #BeanAfterDark. She didn't think anyone would notice. 2 likes, 5, 10. Then a comment from an old coworker. Missed this energy. Then another. When's the next night? She smiled, half amused, half nervous. The street outside was empty except for a delivery truck humming down the block. She turned the lights off, wiped the counter like she used to, locked the door, and walked away. Behind her, the cafe sat quiet again. Only the faint blinking of that green light left, steady, patient, like it knew she'd be back. By the next Friday, the tag wasn't hers anymore. #BeanAfterDark had turned into something else. Blurry photos, vinyl records, candles and mugs. Someone had filmed the steam curling under the low light and captioned it, The real elm and bean vibe. Sophie saw it between job applications, scrolling half distracted. The post had thousands of views. Her old cafe, the one she'd quietly escaped, was suddenly famous for something she'd only done once. Saturday night, she walked back again. Same block, same smell of roasted beans leaking from the vent. Except this time, someone was already inside. Two of her old co-workers, Mia and Andre, had let themselves in. They'd brought a speaker, a few candles, and that same knowing grin she used to hide behind. Mia said, "Hope you don't mind. We missed this place how it was." Sophie just nodded. No permission, no plan, just quiet people craving something that felt real. Steam hissed. Someone strummed a guitar. The cafe breathed again, softer, slower. They cleaned as they went, even restocked napkins from the back. No chaos, no damage, just care. When Mia posted a photo, the same table, the same glow, it looked like art. Underneath, comments poured in. When's the next after dark? Finally, something authentic. Claire, of course, saw it. Her brand account even reposted one, thinking it was fan content. Community spirit in action, she wrote. The irony almost made Sophie laugh. Within days, regulars started showing up late, hoping to catch the vibe. No ads, no flyers, just whispers. People brought poetry books, cameras, a saxophone one night. Every time, they left it spotless, like it had never happened. For Sophie, it wasn't revenge yet, not even rebellion. It was therapy, a place where silence didn't mean submission. But the feeling shifted when a new post showed up. Claire posing under dimmed lights, holding a mug labeled After Dark Series, official launch. Perfect makeup. Stage smile. She'd taken it back, or thought she had. The photo hit a nerve she didn't know was still raw. Her chest tightened, not from anger, just recognition. That was the moment the quiet stopped feeling peaceful. Claire's official After Dark night started at 7 sharp. Bright lights. Loud playlist. A rented neon sign that read coffee plus community. Like a desperate billboard. Sophie didn't go. She didn't have to. Her phone lit up fast enough. A stream of photos flooded in. Influencers posing stiffly, cups untouched, comments disabled. The same people who once loved the cafe now joked in captions. Corporate cosplay. By midnight, the tag split in two. Hashtag #BeanAfterDark, the real one, and hashtag AfterDarkOfficial, Claire's version. Guess which one people followed? Sophie watched it unfold with a strange calm. She wasn't sabotaging anything. She didn't post, didn't comment, didn't gloat. She just let it breathe. But the more she stayed silent, the louder the story got. By the third week, Claire was offering free drinks to anyone posting under her tag. It only made things worse. Someone compared her event to a church bake sale with ring lights. The cafe emptied faster than milk in the morning rush. Andre texted her that night. "You see this? She's melting down." Sophie didn't answer. She just went back to the cafe after hours, not to celebrate, but to clean. It still smelled like her coffee, not Claire's perfume. The hiss of the espresso machine broke the silence. That sound, the one that used to make her tense, now marked ownership. Not legal, not public, but real. She wiped the counter the same way she did when she worked there. Hands steady, no shaking. Her reflection in the glass looked older, steadier. She wasn't hiding this time. Across town, Claire was on a live stream, voice cracking under fluorescent lights. Sophie watched the replay later, the apology about miscommunication and employee negativity. It didn't land. The comments section turned into a roast. The next morning, the cafe had maybe 4 customers. 2 just came to see if the rumors were true. The air inside felt empty, hollow, like all the warmth had quietly packed up and left. It had, and Claire still didn't know who took it. 3 months later, the "closed for renovation" sign was still taped to the door. Dust covered the front counter. A single stool sat flipped upside down like someone gave up mid-shift. Sophie walked by once in a while, mostly out of habit. The place didn't sting anymore. It just looked smaller than she remembered. Whatever soul it had left, it followed her. Her own cafe opened on a side street near the park. No branding, no neon, No curated playlist. Just a handwritten chalkboard that said Bean After Dark, open late. Same espresso machine, the one she helped install years ago. It hissed the same way when the first cup pulled through. That sound used to mean pressure. Now it meant peace. No influencers came opening night. Just familiar faces. Mia brought vinyls, Andre fixed a loose socket, and a couple of regulars showed up carrying their own mugs. They didn't take pictures. They just sat, listened, and breathed in the coffee and candle smoke. Somewhere around 11, a kid asked if this was that secret cafe everyone talks about. Sophie smiled. Not secret, she said. Just quiet. He nodded like he understood. For a moment, she stood behind the counter, steam curling around her hands, candlelight flickering across the glass. She remembered Claire's voice. Smile more, sophomore. The echo didn't hurt anymore. It just faded, like background noise you finally stop noticing. Outside, someone chalked a small crescent moon on the sidewalk, the same one Sophie used to draw on coffee sleeves. She didn't erase it. She just let it stay. When she closed up that night, the air was warm and thick with espresso. She flipped the sign to closed, turned off the lights, and waited for the hiss to fade. The cafe fell silent, but it didn't feel empty. Just full in a different way, steady, earned, hers. She locked the door, slipped the keys into her pocket, and whispered, not for anyone, just for herself. Best enjoyed after hours. The machine let out one last breath. And that was enough.